What's up, guys? It's Pete. I'm going to be sharing some stuff that I'm working on, some of the projects I got going here, sharing on my YouTube channel, and so on. Right now, this is a song where I played everything: drums, guitar, bass, keys, mixing, production, recording, all that, and co-wrote the song. Wrote the music, not most of the vocals. That was done by Mr. Richie B. So, this is a big song with lots of tracks. It hasn't been released yet. I can't play the whole thing. But let's just say it's a little different from what we did before. But this is a song that we've been playing live for a while, so. And I think I can get away with playing a bit of a verse and a chorus. Here's some second verse into the second chorus.
To see me out on the floor, it's a movie though. Grab your face, I'll kiss your mouth and drive you wild. Know what to do to shock your body right out. So sit back and let me slip into this body high. Electricity, give you a real shock, baby. The one to make you jump to your knees.
So, pretty big, crazy, rockin', dancey kind of thing. And this is the production that I'm doing more nowadays with this rock stuff with Deidre, is the sort of more dancey thing. How do you do dance rock without being cheesy? Well, that's the challenge. I think I've done it at least somewhat okay here. So let's take a look at what some of the stuff's going on if you're curious. We'll stick to that same section so I don't give away the whole song. So there's like a loop in the verse, but then we kick chorus drums. So yeah, that bass is really nasty. Today, mixing this bass, listening to it going, it's just kind of too safe. It needs to be more nasty. I'll show that. So I split the bass up. This is kind of cool. I split the bass into, it's one take, but there's a DI, direct from the bass, and then there's a bass amp. And I'm using them both for two different purposes. They're not just kind of one on top of the other for no reason. So the first one, hopefully you have low end on your speakers, is really just the low end, and that's like what's hitting the subs and the lows and making that sound right for that job of, it's the bass, and it needs to be nice and full down there and do its thing. But then it also needed to be very dirty. And today I was thinking, let me just try going over the top with this fuzz plug-in on the bass. So bypassing that, it was still dirty how I had it. But then I went nuts on it. It's like I got Jimi Hendrix to play bass on this now. So that, to me, I know it sounds crazy on its own, that distorted bass, but it blends with the guitars now really nice. It has a purpose. It's not just a safe little bass line down there. So that's that. I'm not supposed to play the whole song. Then, anything else of interest? I don't know. There's lots of tracks, lots of stuff. I needed to make the vocals sound really full in the chorus, and it's one take. And I didn't want to double it or anything, so I put on I blended in vocal distortion, chorus effect, this, that, and the other. I did parallel compression with a limiter. There's so many tracks just for this one vocal to get really full in the chorus.
Give you a real shock, baby.
I don't know
Make
if
you jump to your knees.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be playing these vocals by themselves.
I'll take you down, baby.
Chorus, distortion,
'Cause I am
everything.
on tonight. Yeah, my body's got electric fire.
All right. Anything else of interest? Well, maybe I'll make some more videos showing what I'm working on. Here's the guitars in the chorus, which are just 3 guitars. 1 in the middle, 2 on the sides. And, oh, here's something cool. So the drums, the entire drums, I think I sent a little more of the kick. The entire drums are being sent to a sidechain compression on the guitars and the bass. So to show that, it is. See, the compression is the drums. So, the guitars are sort of ducking and going in rhythm with the drums. I also did that on the bass, so the whole thing's sort of fluctuating. It's almost like an EDM effect, but with a live band. And in that case, I end up with very little compression on, by the way, since things are sort of side-chained and working off each other and compressed in their own way. That, although I have a lot of stuff on the master bus, very little compression. And all these things are doing very, very small things. So that is the most compression going on, and that's the SSL bus simulator. And that's doing what? Not even 1 dB, right, of compression. And then I got a multi-band, which just really sweetens things up. It's barely doing anything. This is the loudest part of the song. Here's the gain reduction. Tucking in a little of the peaks. So little, not even a decibel going on of gain reduction. C6, just to, I actually end up, people use like, what's a hardware piece, like a tone bender or one of those mastering. I'm using this sort of to just shape it. And you might say, okay, you want to do that in the mix and not the mastering, but it does give a certain polish and effect. In this case, I don't always do this, but this song just needed a bit of hype. And I boosted some of this higher stuff and sort of like shaping the overall thing. It's not, you know, sharp EQ on the master bus. I bypass on. So it just opened things up in a way that's actually glued together. Instead of me going in the mix and brightening everything, it kind of glued it. It's almost like a radio sound, just a bit. This guy also on the master, doing very little, but this is sort of a common thing to throw on this, imitation of the old classic there. And just a little bit, the Pultec polish on the master bus. R-bass, which is, adding some extra harmonic frequency stuff at the low end. Again, this is doing nothing, and then as you add it in, I was right here, 19.9. It's not all up here. It's barely doing anything. This is what I like to do on the master bus. Not too much. Again, a very, very slight boost on another type of Pultec thing. This is doing some mid-side EQ, and look how much I did. Half a decibel, right? That's on the sides. Here, half a decibel. Boost 1K in the mid, half decibel boost 12K in the mid, and then on the side they have their different sort of spots. Again, really small stuff that adds up. I hope this video is interesting. This guy is not even compressing, because I cannot stand the compressor on here. I never found a use for it. It's just, but it it does something, particularly to the high end, that seems to almost separate things into their own little spot in a nice way. It's hard to explain. And if I bypass it on and off, you probably won't even hear the difference in this video. I'll turn it off. Here we go. On. It's very slight. But again, all this stuff is very slight. But if you listen to it on good speakers and all that, there is a sort of a softer, nicer separation, clarity in the high end. It sounds a little less of that digital haze. This guy is doing parallel compression, and it's the mix, right? Dry wet mix is at 9, basically 9%. I guess that's 100. So yeah. So it's very, very slight. And really, when it's only doing anything is when, like, if I play the chorus, the loud part. The needle's barely moving, which means there's no pumping, there's no issue as far as it adding more pumping of volume. So you'd say, well, why is it even there, right? Because the quieter parts end up a little less quiet sounding, a little more gluey, even though it's not hitting compression, like it's not hitting the SSL compressor.
Oh, take a look at me.
So once it starts moving, there's the needle. See?
Tell me, what do you see?
So you get some
satisfaction guarantee.
You get some motion in there. So I actually end up with some glue on the quiet part without, because that quiet part doesn't hit the SSL compressor. It doesn't really hit the other ones. It's too low in the mix, right? It's too low in volume. So that adds a little glue to the quiet parts. And then at the end, this isn't really mastering. That's going to be final as far as volume, but I slap on an L2 and just catch the peaks and kind of see where I'm at. And I can throw on a LUFS meter and see everything's going on over there. But
guaranteed. Just take a look at me.
Go to the chorus. One second. Come on. There it is. That might even be a bit much. Like, I want those drums to pop out, and we'll see how loud the level is when I actually get to the mastering. But I hate crushing peaks. I hate having to do that. Go, Richie. He's on tonight. Alright, guys. So hopefully that was maybe interesting, entertaining. If you need anything mixed, co-produced, I'm here. Contact me. I'm trying to keep busy and make some more videos. Alright, guys. See ya.